the guy, see, typically when people fall in stadiums, they're trying to catch a ball. Like there's some reason. There was no ball near. There was no home run or anything. This guy he was sitting down, hopped up, jumped over, and
You know
fell onto
what?
the field.
I think I did see that.
But you probably didn't see the video, is what
No,
I
no, no,
saw the video.
I think I did see it, and I was like, I don't need this.
Well, when they because at first it was just you hear it sometimes. Somebody at a Braves game died like that one time, but like you hear about it, especially at baseball games specifically. You hear about it, but then I don't think I've ever just seen a video of it. And like this guy just like hops up and clearly jumps over, like he clearly jumped over. It looked like a suicide attempt.
I mean, it's somewhat understandable though, because how depressed do you have to be at a baseball game?
Well, more specifically, a Pirates game, and Paul Skeens isn't pitching.
I mean, if that's if that's where you want to be, I understand how you got to where you are.
Yeah, let's get off this somber, depressing intro that we started off with. How are we doing today, Casey Lee?
Oh man, not too bad, not too bad. Just feeling empowered, reincarnated, just to be able to let these niggas know they're not like us.
I don't know if this is a shot because I'm going by Big Baby Pete today, or
No, not at all.
well, it
I
kind of fits.
appreciate
It
that.
fits the narrative. Reincarnated. It's like I don't know if obviously I'm sure you saw the Big Baby Pete.
I saw that, but no, I didn't actually say. Dang, that was fly. We gonna say that's double entendre, like
Yeah,
on Lyric Genius or whatever.
yeah.
They gonna when they break it down, yeah, they gonna be
Somehow
like, oh, yeah, this is
annotate it
what he
and
meant.
say, no, this is really what he meant. They'll be like, it was a sneak diss, basically. And it's like, no, he just was opening it up because he went to the Kendrick Lamar concert. Like, then it's debated on blogs of what he really meant by that.
That's how a lot of people consume their media, their news.
Yeah, absolutely. It's whatever somebody says online.
The Shade Room or Hollywood Unlocked
Or spiritual word.
or Facebook.
Facebook's the OG here. It's crazy. When you think about Facebook, Facebook is such a revolutionary tool, not just because of what it means for social media, but all aspects of it. When you really just break it down, it's at first you're thinking, okay, it's just a current event, social, way to keep in touch, see people, see what they're doing without having to call them. Then it goes even deeper, and it's like, okay, and it's about people from your past. Then it goes even deeper, and then it's like, oh, this is a fucking photo album of your past, to where it's a digital footprint in a cloud that you don't lose. Then it goes even deeper, and it's people trying to date people on there and scam people. Then it goes even deeper. There's fucking games you can play. Now it's a marketplace. It's eBay. You can sell things. It's an it's a crazy zeitgeist almost, really, of
It's a whole new
society.
world that you can live in.
Yes.
But you know
And
what?
real or not. You can be fake or real. It doesn't
But you
really
know
matter.
what?
You can go whichever route you decide.
But here's the thing. I bet Facebook and just social media in general, I bet it's one of the reasons why we have the divorce spike.
Divorce spike and just less people getting married, period.
Because you lost access to your exes back in the day. You know what I mean? Like, especially in the home phone days, or like when you change cell phone carriers, that mean you had to get a new number. Bro, you lose your ex or shorty that you met that one night.
Or girl you wanted to fuck from high school
Yeah.
that you never did, but now it's for the taking.
And now you just scrolling on the computer back in the day, right? But now you can scroll on your phone at work. And then she thirsting daily.
Yeah.
And then she likes a couple of your posts. And then
he
finally
like a couple of hers.
Yeah, and then she finally has that story that you can respond to, or she responds to one of your stories with like some clappy hands, or you know what I mean, or some
or you're out and about somewhere close in location. Oh, I didn't know you still lived here. Or you're out of town. oh, I live here, or I've been there, I recommend going here.
Or, hey, I'm gonna be in town. I'm gonna be in your city for business. Let's just
Let's get a
grab dinner and
drink.
catch up.
Let's get a drink. Let's consume a spirit.
You know what? Yeah, let's get a drink because I think dinner would be too formal. Let's just get a drink and apps, and
Yeah.
that turns into dinner. Then
And then
drinks
dinner
after.
turns into fucking dinner. All right. The real meal, you know. Hey, meals on wheels, nigga. That's what that turns into.
You know the worst one?
What's that?
The no. Hit me up when you're done with dinner, and I'll meet you. I'll meet you at the bar.
Or when you're done, meet me here. Don't got me, get me. Nigga, like the fuck? Like it's crazy though, because that is the world of Facebook. And when I get dinner later, I'm gonna ask even more about that. The person that I'm meeting up for, obviously they work at Facebook, and they just got back from One Hacker Way, which is, that's Facebook's address. And
Oh, I
so
don't know that.
that is their address, One Hacker Way.
Hey, can you take it off the table, please?
Take what off the table?
We get it. You got a third leg. Let's take it off the table.
I can't remove it. Unfortunately it's a part of me. And so fortunately and unfortunately. But
it makes me uncomfortable.
well, it should. We'll get over it.
I'm a victim.
Oh man. I've heard it all. Speaking of victims, you put in the group, and I've kind of just seen it right before we were getting on, and we didn't get to talk about this in pre-production, but whoever the guy was, Lord something, that put up whatever about saying a friend saw the video. It's always third-hand gossip with these people. It's always third-hand gossip because he can't get sued. And granted, Shannon did say something about there being put out a tape. So he did say you might as well put out the tape, put out the whole thing. So it does at least line up with what Shay says.
Yeah, he's kinky.
Unlike Lakers in 5, that didn't line up with it. But
I mean, it was Lakers in 5, just the wrong way.
Lakers out of here in 5. Exactly.
Yeah, that way.
Yeah. Or better yet, I was about to say, nigga, the Cam Newton dab. Not even just a dab, but a Cam. Cam used to do this shit. Cam used to, and then just.
Yeah,
I miss those days of Cam, by the way. But go ahead.
Yeah, me too. He really had the white people out here dabbing. And I was around a lot of white people at that time in my life, and it was a lot of.
Yeah, no, motherfuckers were hitting that shit, no doubt. You know what the crazy thing about Cam is?
Icon.
His run, I mean, he was good. It literally all went down after the Super Bowl, it felt like. But at the same time, that run for them that year, it's almost the equivalent of his Heisman year. I can't think of a guy in the NFL, maybe Lamar Jackson, that had just as dominant. And Lamar's was more sleeker. Cam was power and
Greg Olsen
and swagger. No offense to Lamar. Lamar don't play with swagger like that. He don't play not with that kind of swag.
Lamar. I mean, it just by the way they dress and carry themselves. Lamar, he a grimy nigga. Cam is, even though he physical, he fly. He the way he dressed, he looked physical and fly. You know what I mean?
Well, Cam's talking shit to you after he scores. He's hitting the dab. He's doing that shit, the yah. Then he's opening up the chest like, nigga, you know who this is. You know what I mean? Cam was a different animal in the same beast.
He's a lot of what we see from Ant-Man. You just couldn't see it on the football field.
Do you think that this is an Atlanta trait?
Yes.
Because, I mean, you are a product of your environment. Yes. And I think that especially all of us, Cam's on the slightly older side, and then obviously Ant's on the younger side. But it goes to show kind of how everybody grew up on this same type of culture Because even for a guy like Ant-Man, he still came up obviously more so like in like this Yule type era, right?
Yeah.
Like he was more the soldier boy. That's him as a kid, like elementary. That's his elementary school. For us, it's high school. But
Yeah.
like we all grew up on it, and even then, you're still listening to Ludacris, like all the old early 2000 stuff. He knows it because it was still getting played on the radio, right? Like that shit still would get played.
Bro, I was listening to V103 the other day because my Bluetooth hadn't turned on. And I was just hearing some ghetto ratchet ass shit. And I was like, damn, that is right. V103 plays real music that's in the streets, not just your top 40s. Like
Billboard, yeah.
when Greg Street is spinning, he's playing real music. And when you talk about the Atlanta culture, me being somebody in the country 45 minutes north, you being east, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Julian being south, us having other friends who grew up in the heart of it or now like having a social life in it, you still relate so much because that shit is just so universal. So
It's
like,
universal, and regardless of being in the city, everybody can say that they want to say the outskirts are they're a part of that. Like the outskirts
yeah.
are a part of that because everything in the
Especially after
city.
'96 when all the niggas got kicked out of the projects.
That's what I'm saying. And so it's all one and the same. And even in those pockets, there's people. Like again, the East Side in itself had its own the swag surf is a Stevenson High School. Them niggas went to Stevenson. It's in the lyrics. Like them niggas went to school out there. Like Childish Gambino went to Stevenson at one point. He has a Stone Mountain mixtape. Like this is all part of it. The
Ludacris went to Banneker. Like everybody ain't just from Atlanta proper.
The Crank That Roosevelt, bro. That's East Side. Like so that's what I'm saying. Like it's all a part of it too. Like it's all.
And that's another crazy thing. Like the all that East Side music was the same music getting played at the house parties I was going to in middle school.
Yeah, I mean, rich kids obviously. When we can't. Travis Porter, one of the niggas in Travis Porter went to Stevenson. Like I'm just saying, it's all within the same culture. Like all of it. If you grew up remotely close to Atlanta, you are considered it. Now I don't count a nigga that's from Macon. Like I'm not counting.
No, if you can pick up like, V103 and 107.9 on your radio, and that's what you listen to in the car, and Kiss 104, you grew up on Atlanta culture.
Well, I was just gonna say if you touch any of the major parts, so like as far north on your end, because Cartersville, does Cartersville neighbor Marietta?
Kennesaw.
Okay, and Kennesaw touches Marietta, but Kennesaw low key's in Marietta. I mean, I know Kennesaw is its own thing, but like Kennesaw kind of half Marietta.
But I also think some of my upbringing was different because my mom worked at Grissom Funeral Home.
Mm-hmm.
So like she lived in the city, and like so I used to come to the city a lot for like I used to go to the West End Mall just to go to the fish joint when my mom would go get like shit for Black History Month at church.
Yeah.
Because you know, you go to them type of malls to find that type of nigga stuff for church.
Right. And then I mean it also helps too that we're at the heart of the culture and went to an HBCU, and more specifically an HBCU by the name of Morehouse College. It don't get more culture than realistically than the Spell House aspect of Atlanta, in my opinion. Like or the ABC. Let me not disclude Morris Brown, Mo B, and fucking yeah, because they're a big part of it too. And so
I mean, but that's why Atlanta is what it is, because you had these great schools right here, and these kids get jobs out of school and they stay here. And then like the way the culture spreads when these kids are going home from school, they taking all this Atlanta shit back. And that shit fly.
Well, and they can't wait to get back. Them niggas didn't. Hey, Cali didn't hit the same for the Cali niggas no more.
Nah, the LA shit wasn't as cool, homie.
Right.
Hey, you could actually wear your Seattle Mariners fitted around here, homie.
Right. You know, and so of course, look, and there's different things that they bring to it too, but like at the same time, the South is the culture. It has been and always will be. It has been since the civil rights era. Like, it's always been the culture.
Well, I mean, that's where everybody from. I mean, if you think about it, like
Ultimately,
even like the New York, the Cali, if they're like black, they ain't like, like Dominican or some mix, mix, like they just
Mexican.
black. 9 times out of 10, they grandparents from the South. If their
Yeah,
grandparents
you
are,
go
it's
back
their great
down that tree,
grandparents.
no matter what. Yeah, they had to migrate
Yeah.
west or
And they
migrate
pretty
north.
much migrated to factories. Bruh.
No,
Think about
that's
all the
true.
place. Think about all the places where niggas are. There's either a loading dock or a factory, or both, or a
Yeah, or
warehouse,
yeah, ports.
or a farm. But now niggas too good to do manual labor, not realizing when Black America was at its finest. As far like financially at their finest. During the civil rights era, it was because niggas was out here with trades and working blue collar jobs.
Because niggas had to really work.
And then even like in the 90s, where you saw like, I don't know if the numbers back it up, but like growth in the black middle class and stuff, you could go work at the local factory and marry your high school sweetheart, and she could go, I don't know,
Be
do
a
some
banker.
morning job, be a
She could be a
secretary
banker
somewhere.
or
Huh?
be a banker or something.
Yeah, be a
Like a
receptionist.
teller.
Yeah, and y'all could get you a nice 4-bedroom house on a quarter acre,
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I think it's a lost art now, but we're blinded by that stuff when you really look at it, and especially here, and that's what makes it so sad and good what Atlanta's become, because it is so much more expensive now. And I mean, I know that just from straight from coming out of college, what I used to pay and what it is now. But like at the same time, if you take a look at the landscape of everything, scammers have ruined this city to no end, because every woman believes that they need a fake, something fake on them. That's no shade to anyone that's got a BBL. I like a lot of them, so I'm not against it, but it's made to believe that this should be the standard. You should be taking me to a steak dinner. I don't know anybody, even let me tell you, at my highest financial power, I didn't go out to eat every day and get bullshit fucking steak dinners, because I know that when I go to a steak place or go to some place that's expensive or whatever, bro, I'm spending $250, $300 because I want to try everything on the menu if I haven't fucking been there. And so,
bro. I'm probably trying multiple cocktails like off of
that
your
too.
cocktail menu
And those are
because
$17 a pop, easy.
I'm getting an app or two. I'm getting
Getting
my
a bunch of
meal,
sides, shareable sides.
yes, and then I'm getting dessert, and I may get a fucking a dessert cocktail too.
Dessert cocktail. See, I don't get dessert. See, I don't like sweets like that. But like, um,
Bro, that's
but
why
yes,
I
I'm
don't.
with you.
That's why like you can't take country girls to nice places, cause like you really about to go crazy in here, and then like her country ass gonna order. She gonna order wrong and not really know what the fuck she ordering. And now you done spent $300-400 on dinner. And for one, it didn't take that for her. But also she don't even appreciate what the hell she getting.
She don't know what she just had.
Yeah.
She
Like,
doesn't
yeah,
know what
she
she just
cool with
had. She knows that she ate some sort of fish, nigga. Like, she don't know really what type of fish it was, what went into that fish, where we're really at. She just is like, oh, it was the nice restaurant. I ordered the fish, the fucking Chilean sea bass that is, you know, times that's $50 over what it really costs to do. And some guy from Botswana is back there. He's the head chef. It's his restaurant. He's bringing Botswana flavors over here because there's a market for it. Because not everybody's gonna go to Botswana, but they can get a little taste of it at home in a 5-star setting.
Bro, it was like this one spot in Albany. It was this Italian spot.
Mm-hmm.
The owner was born in Italy. He used to run an Italian restaurant in LA. As far as I'm concerned, he got excommunicated by the mob to Albany. But when you go there, like the special that you don't know how much it costs.
MP is what it's called, market price.
Well, I'm not even talking about that. When like they just read off the different shit to you, and like they may say they got this prime
Limited
rib
time thing.
prime rib beef stroganoff, blase blah, and a vodka, yada yada sauce, and you're like, yeah, let me get that shit.
Yeah.
So you don't even get an opportunity to know how much it costs. Bitch can make up a price.
Yeah.
You're gonna pay it. But anyways, like going to that restaurant, it was dope when like we used to go because there was a like mutual appreciation for like this $300 date on a random, you know what I'm saying? Because we're gonna get apps, we're gonna get cocktails, we're gonna get dessert,
especially if neither of you have been there.
Right, and then once you go, you start peeping stuff on the menu that you want to try because I couldn't get that last time. Yeah, I couldn't get that.
Yeah, and you'll get the one thing will knock their fucking ass off because that's what's bringing you back. But like, the only thing that you probably save on is drinks the second time because you either know what you want in terms of, and that depends on if they have a revolving menu of cocktails. You either know what you want, or maybe you are like, I don't even need a cocktail. Hey, let me get that double tequila. Or you might not even be in the mood to drink. Let me get this. Let me get a water. Like, you already know.
Go ahead and give me that old fashioned.
Yeah.
But anyways,
that gets to my final point and why that we even went down that rabbit hole. Atlanta niggas, the scammer niggas, they're ruining it, bro. It's setting up this lifestyle that people think that they either have to portray. It's imposter syndrome is what it is. And I think we talked about that last week or 2 weeks ago. We brought up imposter syndrome. Or no, it was main character syndrome.
Yeah.
But imposter syndrome it's a Jekyll and Hyde thing. They can be one and the same, but they're two different things. But one person can be living out both at one time.
Yeah.
It's real. It's real. And it sets up this stuff to where everybody feels like they've got to do something because so many niggas throw their best punch in the first fucking meetup.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know a chick that doesn't, for the most part. There's no more whining and dining people. It's we met. Typically, you probably want to fuck. In most cases, a lot of women want to fuck too. It's fucking, and then it's, hey, where are we going out of town? like that is what it is.
I don't know if I want to be stuck with you for 3 days.
Oh, I do, because if you're bad as fuck, I just know I'm fucking for 3 days. So everything else kind of goes out the window because so many people. What did Whitlock say? We talked about this. Niggas think with their penis. They think with their penis. So as long as the penis gets the okay, this comes second. The penis comes first.
See,
this comes third.
I can't do that. The penis isn't coming first.
I'm not saying you or myself.
No, I know.
I'm just saying that's what the setup is. The setup
but
is
I'm just like,
with your penis.
Yeah, like I'm making it personal now. It's like, dog, I'm not going out of town just for cheeks. Not if I gotta be with you the whole time. Will I tolerate more if I know I'm getting cheeks? Yes. But like, I go out of town to have fun.
Well, and then that gets back to just like the restaurant aspect of it. Have you been to that city before? If you haven't, then it's easier because now you're both exploring, right? But if you have been, now there's a familiarity to it. Has she been? You know what I mean? It adds into this cosmo of a fucking effect like that goes on in the community, and You could go on, continue to do this, and then next thing you know, you're back home, right? You see this bad fucking bitch, man, or some chick that you've been trying to holler at, or you get on Facebook and there's a chick that you haven't fucked. She gives you the, she responds. I'm telling you, look, this stuff is real. It's real, and this is happening in real time. Nobody wants to talk about it.
Nah, bro. I remember one time getting a text saying check your snap. Like, nigga, what? I didn't even have the app on my phone.
Was it a nude pic?
It wasn't new, but it was damn near.
Okay, so it was salacious.
Yeah, and I was just like, whoa.
Scandalous photos.
Yeah, I was like, yo, I'm married.
Oh, wow. This happened while you were married.
Yeah, like, oh, I had no idea. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, the fuck you did. That's why you sent it on Snapchat. Because it goes away. And if I screenshot it, you'll know.
I think she knew I was dating, but I didn't think she knew I was married.
She's a slut.
Because, you know, I didn't really tell nobody at first.
Yeah, I know.
Just like I ain't really tell nobody like I'm separated.
Right.
I just talk like I'm single.
This is like the first time you've said this on the podcast, by the way.
Yeah.
Or at least on this podcast. Maybe you.
Yeah, I haven't like said it straight up on the other pod either.
All right.
But yeah, no. So like, but it was just one of them things. It's like, wow, damn, that can put you in a position where you might be ready to spin the block because you just got some shit you wasn't asking for that been sitting in your box for like 3 days, and she's like, "Yo, this nigga ain't even read
it." some come fuck me is what it is. That's what it is. Hey, come get you some of this. Come fuck me. It's what it is. It's bait. It's a fucking. We're out on the fucking lake. All right, and we're just, we're happy because woo, look at us. We got free reign. We're in the water. Woo. Then somebody pops down that bait, and hey, you got to make that decision of, man, that worm don't typically just be floating right here, but it is right now, and it looks.
We had them kind of worms in this pond.
Right, this some new shit.
I ain't seen a minnow here since last year when I lost my brother.
Yeah, we're not at the zoo where the zookeeper is throwing a hunk of fucking meat into the tiger and the lion, and they know where it's coming from. No. They're not throwing a doe out there for that lion. Nobody's setting up this doe to run around. No. They're throwing that meat out there.
Nah, if that doe just comes running around out of nowhere, there's some rich white guy with a big rifle ready to kill you and put you up in his living room.
Exactly. Taxidermy and all. And then, hey, and here's the plus side. Then they're gonna take the doe too and taxidermy that shit. You both fucked. Like,
hey, nigga, you about to be a rug.
Yeah, nigga, you're about to be sitting up in a Cracker Barrel. All right, like, you're an antique, nigga. Like, you know what I mean? That's where we're at, though. Seriously,
and bro, that's literally what happens when you take the bait. Like, you see it out there, you take the bait, you eventually gonna get caught, and then you gonna be hanging up at fucking Cracker Barrel looking at people eat.
Yeah.
Like, I knew better.
Yeah. You knew better, and so did LeBron and Luka. They knew better going into the playoffs.
Yeah, but they didn't do better.
But they knew better. They knew they needed a big. They both knew that.
Well, Bron doesn't know that.
JJ knew that. Rob knew that. You want to know who didn't know that? Jackson Hayes. He didn't fucking know. Alex Lynn. These are the guys that didn't know that they needed a big.
Yeah, Alex Lynn, we brought you in because we literally don't have anybody on our roster your size.
You know who else knew?
You will play 25 minutes a game.
You know who else knew they needed a big? Rudy Gobert. He knew they needed a big, so he exploited it.
Feed me. Just shoot it. I got it.
Shoot it. I got it. Get as close as you can. Just throw it up. Nobody's jumping with me. I'm too big. I'm too strong. And LeBron's not going to risk foul trouble down here this entire time. He's for one, he's not going to guard me the entire game. And I still have an advantage over him, no matter who the fuck he is. I still have this advantage over him. And then he puts up Shaq-like numbers. I mean, so
what, 27 and 24?
Sure as hell looked like Shaq at Staples Center to me. That's what it looked like to me.
I mean, they called him Rudy.
Rudy Keel O'Neal.
Nah, they was David Robinson. They called him something like
the French Admiral. I mean,
no, it was like Rudy Gobertson or something like that, and Ruby Galajuan. It was just
they were just somehow intertwining the name with his. It was.
I mean, Shaq gave him his props too, though.
Because he didn't have any fucking choice but to. I bet, put it this way, outside of AD, the last time anyone put up those numbers in that arena was probably Shaq.
Yeah.
Outside of AD.
And Joker.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to count him. He's let's take out him. And probably Dwight, too. You get my point.
Yeah.
In a playoff game, outside of Joker and AD, now, I don't even know if AD put up a 2020 game in the play. He probably has, but like as a Laker, I'm sure. But like outside of that, Shaq was probably the last nigga to do that shit. In an elimination game in Staples Center.
Yeah, Rudy was having his way. Like, I can't even call him Rudolph. That's Rudy.
That's 4-time DPOY Rudy Gobert to you.
Yeah, that's future Hall of Famer Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
Hey, man. He showed up. I've got nothing to say.
He showed up. He showed out. And then the icing on the cake is, I think you said it this morning when I saw it, Ant walking from the crypt to
the hotel,
the Ritz-Carlton in downtown LA, and getting in on the fun. This nigga said, hey, when this nigga said, he said the good guy's gonna die in this one.
See if I can find it real quick so I can play it.
Yeah, this nigga said he was fucking Morris Chestnut, nigga, and Boys in the Hood, nigga. That's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, great game, obviously, but that was crazy.
Dang. Did I text? Yeah, I think I did text it to you. I think it was on Twitter.
It's in the group for sure.
Hair nappy, but I'm happy, pocket full of dough.
Oh, bow, wow, wow, yippee, yo, yippee, yay.
Dang, bro, I can't find it. I'm done.
There ain't been that many people in messages in the group today.
Yeah, I know. I just couldn't find it, and I ain't going to go back and scroll through.
God damn it, Lee. I'm going to resend it to you then.
Nah, because Ant-Man's hilarious. He's...
Yeah, this is a worthy post to put on here. All right, here it is. I'm about to send it to you.
Dang, he was in the group for real?
Yeah, it's in the group.
Dang, I'm trash.
And actually, Jude's the one that put it in.
Yeah, okay, I was looking for it wrong.
All right, there we go. Nigga gave a shit.
Man, all week. What they say? Lakers in 5. And then look, when we was up 3-1, they said Lakers in 7. And they said, go to hell today. Hey, good guy gonna die in this movie. Hey, Morris Chestnut died in this movie.
Hey, you mentioned Morris Chestnut. Is that your favorite movie, Boys in the Hood?
Nah, that ain't my favorite movie. My favorite movie, Matilda.
Matilda? I have to check that out. I've never seen it.
Are you tripping?
Yeah.
It's like, shut up, white man. How have you never seen fucking
watch the
Matilda?
song, watch the car, watch the pretty lady in the back. But you ain't got nothing. Up the team, man. You ain't got no real OG. Fuck with you, though. Oh, you're a real.
Just a bunch of Atlanta swagger, bro, oozing through the streets of LA.
Yeah.
such a nigga.
It's such an Atlanta nigga too. It's not just he's a nigga. He's an Atlanta nigga. It's like, oh yeah, this nigga is from the city. He's from here. Like,
yeah, nah, that nigga rode a bus that said APS on the side.
Yeah, he did. He sure the fuck did. Hey, this nigga's had in school suspension. He's hey, he went to a school where they had silent lunch, nigga, in the class. Like,
you ever had silent lunch?
Yeah. They punished the whole class. So yeah, I didn't get in trouble, but they punished the whole class. So yeah, I've had silent lunch.
Oh, bro, I used to live in silent lunch in 7th grade.
Hey, why is it that was a middle school ass thing? Because it didn't really happen in high school. But like, I mean, I left Stevenson after 1 year, but like at the same time, that shit didn't happen. Like that was a middle school ass thing. And even, I mean, ISS is high school too, but like, it felt like that was more middle schoolish. Like,
yeah,
more niggas were getting in ISS.
Niggas are more bad in middle school. You're going through puberty.
Yeah.
But yeah, nah, I used to live in silent lunch, man. My partner Adrian, he had silent lunch for like 60 straight days. And because like what they would do is they give you silent lunch, but then like if you got in trouble again, like all the teachers kept a tally of the silent lunch. So you might get 4 silent lunches in a day because the teachers ain't talked yet.
Yeah.
And then like if you get in trouble in silent lunch, your days double. So my man's his days got to like 15, then they doubled to 30, then they doubled to like 60. Cause then cause we would be in there in silent lunch with him, and then we would just get in trouble in silent lunch every day for talking. But we just kept getting silent lunch and we would talk every day until they finally got tired of it.
Quick question. Did y'all have block scheduling or was it 7 periods?
What did we do in middle school?
No, high school.
Oh, we did block schedule my first 3 years. Then my senior year, we went to like 6 or 7.
Good. Block schedule is so bad.
I love block schedule.
Yeah, it's like college. The last 30 minutes of class is low-key bullshit because you only need an hour.
Yeah, but your homework load was much lighter.
Yeah, because you were probably finishing it in fucking class. Like,
yeah. Bro, when we went to that 7 period shit, and mind you, my senior year, I took a stupid course load. I joint enrolled, so I was in 2 college courses, and then I was in like 3 AP courses, a marketing class, and team sports. Nigga, all that work for them AP classes. I'm like, nigga, what am I doing, bro? It's my senior year, 2nd semester. I already know where I'm going to college. These grades don't even matter. I done paid my money. Why am I even here?
Senior year was a fucking breeze. I mean, I wish I did take some college courses. I didn't take any, but then again, if I did, there's a chance I would have never met. We probably wouldn't. The locker room might not exist.
Well, no, so I took courses. I started off as a 2nd semester freshman. So I was just a semester ahead.
But I'm saying if there's a chance, if I had taken, me personally, if I had taken, isn't that crazy how the butterfly effect works? If I had taken college courses, because I'm telling you, my senior year was a breeze. I mean, I had study halls and shit. Like, that's what niggas are doing. I'm taking extended lunches. We had a student lounge. They got rid of it, actually. They didn't have it my senior year, but Tarson and them, they had one where you could play video. They had a video game at the school. There's a lot of shit going on at my school. But like,
doesn't sound public to me.
It wasn't public. I was actually by Mount Vernon this weekend because of a birthday party over there. But that's not here nor there. If I had taken college courses, there's a good chance that I probably don't go to PSP because that was us getting the credits early. There's a good chance I don't do that. And if I don't do that, AC and Parlay Pete podcast might not exist.
You're right.
Maybe I do still meet Julian Turner, Josh Holsey. Maybe this does still come into form, but I don't know. Maybe I don't.
The bond is different because
me and Julian were roommates because of our experience together in PSP. I wouldn't have been his roommate.
Right. And then if Julian still went to PSP, he would have built his circle. So you may not have been able to get into that circle. because he already got his PSP guys, then he got his new ROTC guys. So then it's like, all right, I got enough dudes. Let's go get some chicks.
Exactly. So, but that's my point. That's what I'm saying. This may not exist. I know.
Look at the world.
Look at how when people say the butterfly effect, truly, if one thing changes, how different everything could be. Like, we're not, and that's not a big change, right? That's not me deciding to not go to Morehouse. It's nothing like that. That's not you deciding you were going to go to, what school in Florida? UCF? Where were you going to go?
South Florida.
Okay, South Florida, Bulls. It's not one of those where it's a big decision. It's something slight that doesn't have anything to do with anything except getting an additional credit for school. How that could change the whole dynamic. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, nah, it's insane. You just think about all these different cross points in your life,
Parties, for instance, somebody like a Demi. Maybe I don't throw that party for her because I'm not in Purdue with y'all to be able to do it.
Right. Maybe, I look at it as if I wasn't handing boink beers in the club all the time, we may not have got cool.
Yeah.
Which then means I'm not kicking it with Josh, Julian, and all of them. I'm still just kicking it with Marv and Cam and J.E. Money. You know what I'm saying?
You might have crossed.
Like Chris. Huh?
Yeah, I said you might have crossed something.
No, would have done that.
How you know? If you got tighter with Cam, maybe you would have been up there with Matt.
No.
Shimmy.
No. I wouldn't have done that.
Twirling a cane around.
Nah, that wouldn't have been me. Because
you would have been a Q.
No, that wouldn't have been me.
Really? I feel like you would have been a Q.
No, I really wouldn't.
And not because you're dark.
No. I probably would have played Iota.
Oh, Iota nigga, huh?
Yeah, I like the brown and yellow. It blends well with my skin.
Mm-hmm. I would have if I ever did pledge, I would have been an alpha.
Shocker.
Yeah, I know. Everybody always is like, yeah, you definitely seem like you could have been one. I'm like, nigga. I think just more of the Martin Luther King aspect. I think they were more of the better dressed niggas too. I mean, suits. They were the niggas in the business department. Like,
I think I could have gone any route and it would have made sense.
Sure. It's HBCU. You're black. Of course, it was gonna make sense. So, like,
I mean, I couldn't see you hopping in camo shorts
with a bald head. No, probably not. Probably not. I would have been one of these niggas for sure. Yeah.
Hey.
I don't give a fuck. They can get out of here with that shit, man. Whatever.
He's throwing up the gang sign, man.
It's not maybe for them it is. To me, let me tell you, this shit looks like the rocket power shit to me. That's what it looks like to me. Just like if somebody throws this up, I think of Jay-Z and Rockefeller Records, nigga. I know that they came before Rockefeller Records, but that's who I think of. I think of Jay-Z and Rockefeller Records.
When I hear ooh whoop, I think of Snoop. When I hear
Skippy, in the crib, Mom. But we got so far off base on the Timberwolves shellacking because there really isn't much to talk about there. Lakers got their ass whooped. Obviously, JJ came out, Rob came out. LeBron gave this passive aggressive ass response to what he thinks should happen. He said, "Well, the last time he said when AD asked for what he wanted, he was gone the next week." It's just like, shut the fuck up, LeBron.
You have a no trade clause.
And you're opting out anyway, like, because you're gonna get as much money as you can get every single time. You're gonna get paid it. If the Lakers don't want you back, which I highly doubt, they're not gonna let you walk without compensation, and you're not gonna allow that because you're gonna have a no trade clause. So it doesn't really matter what you do. Like, you're gonna be here. You're gonna be here. Luke is gonna be here as long as he wants to be here. Austin Reeves, they're saying he's gonna be here. To me, unless they do get Nas Reed and Brook Lopez, and like that's how they address that this off season, I think that he's the piece you low key have to trade.
Yeah,
because you'll be able to get a lot for him. Everybody sees the all-star potential, and he can, in a weird way, he can seamlessly fit into almost any team in the NBA.
Yeah, because he could become a 6-man.
He wouldn't be, but like, yes, he could be.
I mean, but I'm saying, like, if the team is already like say if he went to the Clippers, and I know they wouldn't trade him to the Clippers, but if he ended up on the Clippers,
Or
because
the
of the way they're constructed, it's like, all right, now you're gonna come off the bench and go out here and get us 15 every night, like into the playoffs.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this pretty much, the Lakers' biggest flaw, and they ran into it. They don't have big people on their team that are good. And although the Timberwolves are young, they're experienced. They've been to the Western Conference Finals. White Dante, he played, in Eastern Conference playoffs. Mike Conley, seasoned vet, actually had a pulse yesterday.
Yeah, made a huge three at the end of the game.
Yeah, but like they've been there. Chris Finch is a better coach than JJ Redick. Ant-Man ain't scared of nobody, as we saw him bullying with LeBron. Jaden McDaniels plays out of his mind, a couple games.
Probably a little extra emphasis for him too, because he got drafted by the Lakers.
Yeah. And if you just think about it, bro, they're young, they're athletic,
they got
energy, they fight. So it's the type of team that would beat the Lakers.
You know who would fit well there to replace Mike Conley that would be affordable for them this offseason?
Pat Bev.
As bad as he's kind of been with them, but he's kind of showing a pulse lately with them. Fred VanVleet, if you make him the point guard. Because he can play off ball. And you can give him the ball. I mean, he had, to me, a down year this year. He's shown up the last, 2 games in the playoffs for the Rockets. But I don't think that they want to pay him $40-something million, especially if they have the opportunity to go out and upgrade that position the way I think that they want to.
I think they may keep him just to trade him.
Salary dump.
Yeah. Or cap filler.
Yeah.
Little Andrew Wiggins. Got a little Detroit basketball coming on tonight.
Yeah, they're on right now.
Little Jalen Rose hairline.
You big fan?
Is there anything else from the playoffs that we really care about?
Nothing substantial. I mean, obviously the Rockets beat the piss out of the Warriors. They're headed to a game 6 that I don't think that they're going to lose it. But even if they did, I would feel confident betting Golden State in game 7. So, I don't think that they're going to lose that series. Obviously, we got our obvious teams, both 1 seeds, move on in sweeps. Nothing really there. Clippers game tonight is huge. I think, obviously, we both chose them to win this series. It's going to be a grinder tonight for them, no doubt. I expect it to be – these last couple games have been kind of high scoring. I expect this one to be a low-scoring game.
The Nuggets can win the West, man.
Because the opportunities – because you get – now, but here's the thing. The Thunder are rested. The Thunder have – I mean, I know that Memphis wasn't a very good team, but, gosh, they have looked really good. To me, they just can't win the whole thing. But I think I'm changing my tune just a little bit on them possibly winning the West. I think they can win the West, no doubt. And then I don't think they would beat Boston. That's my opinion. I think Boston's better than them. But I tell you what, think about it. I'm just saying, the young niggas, they don't even need rest like that. But, bro, they're beating the shit out of teams. They are arguably dare I say, the best coached team in the NBA. Is that fair?
They've played the best basketball all year.
You don't think that they're the best coached?
I think they've played the best basketball all year.
Okay, noted.
Because so much of coaching we just don't know because of the players. So it's hard to tell, like, what the margins are between what the players are doing and what the coach is setting up for the players to do.
Yeah, I think that they're the best coach team. Who's done a
And
better
I'm not
job?
going to argue with you.
I mean, okay, I tell you what. Obviously, good jobs being done in Cleveland too. I don't want to, not mention
Good
him.
job being done in Detroit.
Yeah, JB's done the. I'm not saying that Mark DeFuck, whatever his fucking name is, Mark DeFuck his name is, and Thunder.
No.
I don't think that he's gonna win Coach of the Year. I just think that he's done the best coach. He's the best coach in the NBA. JB Bickerstaff maybe has done the best job this season in terms of because of what he had, but he's fully exercising that Thunder. That Thunder roster is not a 60-win roster, bro. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. That's not a 60-win roster.
They played some defense.
Like Cleveland is more talented than the Thunder, in my opinion. That's a more talented team. Shea is really good, and he's better than Donovan Mitchell. But at what other point on that team, if you put their starting fives together, I'm taking 4 out of the 5 on Cleveland over. Well, I tell you what, now Isaac Okoro starts or somebody. I don't know who they have at the 3. So, all right, 3 out of 3 to their 2.
Well, Donovan Mitchell's like top 5 all time in playoff points per game.
That doesn't surprise me. He had so many big games for Utah because he was fucking dragging Rudy's ass because Rudy couldn't do what he did last night in Utah. So, like,
nah, D. Mitch with a 40 burger.
You remember Jazz Nuggets? That was how Bubble Ball Murray came about. It was that series. They were going 40 for 40.
Going crazy.
Yeah.
He's getting buckets.
Yeah.
Hooping.
Yeah, just going nuts.
Cade Cunningham looks like somebody.
Somebody like?
I don't know.
Can you give me? You just know he looks like someone.
Yeah, somebody like maybe a rapper or something. I don't know.
What is he? Is he a little Bibby?
I don't commit those niggas' faces to memory.
I'm just throwing out random names. He's a light-skinned guy. He's a nigga that I swear has never dropped any music, but for whatever reason, he's like Juice WRLD's. He signed him, and so like he lives off of his dead work. You know what I mean? He wants to be the next Sean Combs.
Well, nah, he did make music back in the day.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you one Lil Bibby song.
I heard this is one song that him and G Herbo made back when G Herbo was Lil Herb.
Lil Herb, huh?
Yeah. It was Lil Herb and Lil Bibby.
Herbert.
Is that G Herbo's name?
I'm just making a wild. I don't know. But I have to imagine, where's the herb come from? Is it grass? Is he talking about grass? What are we talking about? Like,
I don't know. Let's ask Google.
His name is probably Herbert. And I don't know how you can be a gangster nigga named Herbert.
Herbert Randall Wright III.
Yeah, so Herbert. There's nothing wrong with that. That's his name. He's Herbert.
I bet he can fight.
Niggas like him and who was the nigga that was with Chief Keef? Lil Reese?
Uh-huh.
If you didn't see like their tattoos on their necks and shit, them niggas look like they went to private school, bro. They do. They look like they went to private school.
Now they from the Rat.
Well, you mean where Steven Jack checks in?
Yes.
How gay is that shit? Not to use the term gay loosely like that, but everybody that watches the show knows exactly how I mean it. How gay is that? Like,
I mean, he just wanted to go get a young boy some inspiration.
No, he didn't. He was checking in with some 17-year-olds.
No, he said they was just playing cards for the big 3. And, I think Will Bynum was down there. He was like, man, take me to O Block. So they made a couple phone calls and went to the block.
Sure.
Go drop knowledge on the young bulls.
Sure.
What I mean, you really think he had to check in?
Yeah, I do.
You think he was moving around in places where that was necessary?
I think that he had to. You don't know why he had to check in?
Why?
Because he fucking went live to talk about it. That's why. So he checked in. He wanted everybody to know he was there, that he was checking in.
He's good.
Yeah, he's good in every hood.
Yeah, now that's corny. Like, I would
yeah.
just be at a nice steakhouse.
I wouldn't go anywhere near there unless I knew I had a friend, literally.
And
even then, I'd tell him, no, nigga, meet me at Michael Jordan's Steakhouse. Let's go to Giordano's. Let's get a slice.
Yeah, bro. When, like, my nigga Adrian, he actually up there right now. But he was up there about a month or so ago. He was like, yeah, no, we didn't leave downtown Chicago. There's not a reason to leave downtown Chicago.
Why would you want to? I mean,
to go check in on O Block because you good in every hood.
Yeah, and who's that for? The internet? I mean, like,
nah, it's for the young boys. Give them inspiration. I told you.
Hey man, I'm worth a few million. Look at me over here in this area, not where niggas aren't worth a few million. I'm not fucking influxing cash into this bitch to make it look better. I'm letting you know that I'm good here too. Don't get it twisted. Just because I make millions of dollars doesn't mean that I can't be around poor niggas. Like, it's like weird flex, bro. Like,
hey, that's how Steve Jackson makes you feel.
Yeah, man, he was bullshit on the Hawks too. Let me just throw that shit out there. Why not? We ain't win shit with that nigga. Like, he's what led to that mediocrity run that we had with Joe Johnson. Just because of niggas like him and Sheedy Wallace giving one game. Niggas like that, yeah.
Because they didn't want to buy in, huh?
No, they didn't. They weren't buying into fucking Lon Kruger and Terry Stotts' offense. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Did we trade Steven Jackson to the Pacers or did we get him from the Pacers?
Let's see.
Because I know it went in some order. Pacers, Spurs, us, and then like he was a Bobcat. But
he went Spurs, us, Pacers.
Okay. Then Bobcats.
Nah, Warriors, we believe.
Then
Bobcats, then the Bucks, then back to the Spurs, then to the Clippers, and called it a career.
Then the O Block.
He averaged 15 for his career.
Fuck Stack.
He was low-key 5.
He's not in the Hall of Very Good in any of the teams that he played with. Nobody's putting him in a Ring of Honor.
Tim Duncan said he's the greatest teammate of all time.
He's a good journeyman. And Tim lied. Tim played with Manu Ginobili, who this was actually something that came up in my head not too long ago. Most underrated NBA player of all time. I would say it's Manu Ginobili. Would you agree?
Sure.
I can't think of anyone that's the poster child of being underrated but him. Because as good as Tim Duncan was, best power forward ever, Tony Parker's good, Hall of Famer, obviously, too. But, like...
And a piece of shit.
That's what... Hey, when you got that, when you're a French-speaking nigga in the United States, you get to pull as much type of hose you want. You know, that's his style. You know?
I mean, but not your teammate's wife.
Well, Desperate Housewives, brother.
You know, I don't knock him for cheating on Eva Longoria. She's not above that.
Well, nobody is. Beyonce wasn't. No, nobody is.
Do you believe that's true, or that was just a way for them to sell albums?
Whether that is the premise of whether it was used to sell albums or not is irrelevant to the idea that Jay-Z's definitely stepped out on Beyonce before.
Wow, you would really put that smut on Ho's name?
Yeah, I would.
You think a
I'm
queen
I'm
like
not Stephen A.
Beyonce
Smith.
is
I'm
capable?
not Stephen A. I don't know the nigga. I just know he's a man. How about that? That's what I do know. I know he's a man.
You think an amazing black queen like Beyonce will get cheated on?
I do. Doesn't mean that she deserves it, but it doesn't mean that she's beneath or above it.
You're a pig.
No, I'm not. I'm a truth teller.
Misogynist pig.
If that, hey, I tell you what, if that's what we're cosplaying truth telling to be, then sign me up. I guess I am.
Yeah, I think we're done with the NBA, huh?
Yeah, not too much there. We'll know pretty much all the second round matchups by next week. I think the draft lottery is probably next week too. Or no, when do they do the draft lottery? That doesn't start until right before the NBA finals or conference finals at least. So we got a little ways to go with that. So we can know where Cooper Flagg's going to be playing. But
Ace Bailey.
hey, some people think that he's the next top dog. But yeah, we could focus this thing over to football and get into culture, especially because the football and culture are kind of intertwined these days. We had the draft last week. Obviously, me and you were at the draft party.
Yes, we were.
Good times had by all. You somehow went to Mercedes-Benz Stadium, not on game day, and spent $28 on a beer and some food, which is kind of crazy. Obviously, the beer, of course, they were going to get you there.
Yeah, and the worst
but the
part
food
about
is the
it
fact
was
that you paid $15 for a plate.
Yeah, I know. And the worst part about it was I go back Tuesday and I get a freaking Frank for $2, $3.
Yeah, it's $2. They're the best in the business. That's why I didn't understand how you spent that much. And I know you said you weren't really looking. You just kind of ordered a burger. But I got the chicken tenders and I got 4 tenders and fries. That shit was $6.
I got double burgers and
cold beer.
She probably rang it up wrong.
It's free during game day, so I don't.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, shout out to the Falcons. They hosted a great draft party. Shout out to everybody who came. Happy to see you support the Dirty Birds.
Shout outs to Terry for making the right selections. We finally addressed something that we've been meaning to address, I don't know, for 15 years. And they made the most logical choices.
Shout out
to debate. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say shout out to Terry, knowing that his job is on the line, so he better get this right, even if he overpays. That makes me happy to know that if we're bad again, no more Fontenot.
No more scary Terry, huh?
No, we'll just go get Mike Tenenbaum from ESPN.
That'll have me begging to have Terry back. No, what'll happen is Rich McKay will just step in the interim, and they'll say we're going to conduct the search. This is going to take a year because we still have this coach, and we don't want to marry a GM to a coach, but we're committed to Ra, and we don't want to give Ra the power because he hasn't proven anything yet to be coach and GM. So in the interim, we're going to have Rich, who's won a Super Bowl as a GM. He knows the organization. He knows Ra. He knows Arthur. He's going to enter him for this season. If all goes well, we might get him an extension. We might not. But just know that he'll be in the building no matter what. He will be the one selecting the next guy.
Oh, so Rich is no longer the puppet master. He's an actor. Got it.
Well, he can do both. And that's the point. He can do both. Yeah, that'll end up being. I don't want Mike Tannenbaum. No, God no, please. But Terry did do his job. Not only did he do a great job with that, we got Xavier Watts at safety, somebody that I don't think should have fallen where he fell based on his accolades and even watching Notre Dame and knowing that he was the leader of that defense, who was a pretty good defense, obviously, this year. Great defense. They were the number 1 defense in college football. And he's a 2-time All-American, first team. I love it pairing him with Jesse Bates. You got kind of a position of need to a degree, I would say. Like, because you drafted Richie Grant. You Justin Simmons didn't work out there. Now you got a young, cheap player that you got in the third round. Then you drafted another safety who I don't know too much about him, but clearly a ball hawk based on the numbers. And
Maybe a slot corner type.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're going to move him to the nickel. I like it. It's reminiscent a little bit of the Super Bowl defense that Dan Quinn drafted the year before we went, which was his second year. So hopefully Rod can duplicate that, except, ended on the right note. Zach Robinson, I think after we got Penix in, the playbook's going to open up more because Penix can do more. He's not limited. Like, I think about it, we dropped games just because Kirk Cousins wasn't healthy.
Yeah.
Like, we dropped games because of that shit. So now, assuming Penix is going to be healthy, another summer to get the playbook down. They can add in different wrinkles. I like where we're at. I love the draft. I thought the Falcons won the draft. Then you went out, you got Kobe Bryant at corner, who somebody that apparently should have been drafted, goes undrafted. 3-time first team All Big 12 out of Kansas. And then you pick up.
Hey, Kobe, just relax a little bit, big dog.
Yeah. Chill.
That 2 ain't for you, man. Sorry.
Chill. 22's open. 22's
Don't take it personal.
Yeah. And I get it. It's just a graphic. He's got 2 in his Instagram name. I get it. I really do. But
yeah, just go 2-4. 8 might open up.
Yeah. Yeah, just chill out with that. And then you got Nick Nash, who led the NCAA in receptions, yards, and touchdowns, somehow going undrafted. And I get it. I think they said he dropped a lot of passes too. But if you're a high volume pass catcher, it happens. I mean, and that's not something that's something that can get fixed. And so I like the idea of an undrafted guy getting that. Yeah, give me that type of production, because he could turn into who do they used to call 7-Eleven in the NFL? Played for the Bills, Hogan. Played for the Bills and the Patriots. They used to call him 7-Eleven. If he's the type of guy that can get open, because Ray's your slot, but if you have him as your 4 guy, you still got Kadarius Hodge, who's a special teamer at heart anyways, but made some plays this year at wide receiver. I like the wide receiver room. I like where we're at. Darnell, in his second year, still going to take the top off. Obviously, Drake's our bull. Maybe Kyle Pitts will actually, with Penix, we can utilize him to his fullest extent and either franchise tag him and get rid of him, or tell him we need to see one more year and then pay him. One way or another, I'm happy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm excited for the season, and it just felt good just to be back in the bins amongst Falcons fans.
Yes. But the true topic of the draft was obviously legendary. Coach Prime's son, Shedeur Sanders, falling from a first-round projection all the way to the 5th round to a team that had drafted a quarterback in the 3rd round.
5'10" quarterback at that.
5'10" quarterback that played, 6 or 7 years too himself? Something like that. Kind of like the guy that the Saints got.
Yeah, a guy's a little too old to be on campus.
Yeah. Well, a guy that's been buying beers for freshmen that were now grad students. He bought beer for them when they were freshmen, and then they started meeting him on campus as grad students to get a beer. And he's like, man, you remember when you used to buy us beer? And it's like he's still doing the same thing, but they're on the bigger and better things. So good for him. He finally got out of there, though.
But yeah, so this obviously came with a lot of outrage. Mel Kiper pretty much just told the NFL they don't know how to draft quarterbacks. Stephen A spoke to collusion. The black media sphere just really just we're in a tizzy about this. I think Chris Carter had some of the best commentary on it, and Shedeur dropped essentially because he carried himself like he was a top 5 prospect, and he wasn't. And when you're at the quarterback position, if you're not a top 5 prospect in the eyes of the evaluators, and you come with a lot of extras, baggage, whether it's off the field, glaring problems on the field, or large fan base, popularity, celebrities, stuff like that, distracted. Well, I don't want you to be my backup quarterback because I can watch you in practice every day and see that you're not ready to play. You're not good enough. But the fan base might start calling for you, and the owner's going to be on my ass, and then I'm going to put you in, and you're not going to be ready, and you're not going to play well. And now me and the GM are fired because we picked this guy who wasn't ready. But we knew he wasn't ready when we put him in, but we had to because the man who signed our paychecks demanded it. So, yeah, I would say
and we can't come out and say that either.
Oh, yeah, and his dad is a football coach.
And is in the back room of the Hall of Fame. He's not just a Hall of Famer. He's in the exclusive room.
Yeah, like he's in the room where like
everybody in there has got 3-4 rings.
They sign NDAs to come back there.
Yeah. He's up there with the Titans of the game. I mean, look, he's an NFL 100 player. How about that? I mean, that says it all. A league that's been in existence for 100 years where you've got 11 positions on both sides. So that's 22. Then you had to add coaches as well. And I think, didn't they have GMs in it too? No?
I don't remember.
Probably wouldn't. Or maybe the coaches didn't count towards the 100. But either way, the all-time.
No, but if they did like an all-time 22, right? He's out there.
Yes, he's one of the corners, no doubt. And they might even have him for punt return.
Yeah.
He's on special teams too, because he's just that dynamic of a player. And so it's unfortunate. He lost so much money. I think that's like what gets lost in the sauce. What doesn't get lost in the sauce is Jack Olbrick prank calling him, and then the Falcons being the ass of the joke again. And we just talked about this because you said, are we the court jester? And I said, no, we're not the court jester. We're just Kenny. You know, we just get killed every episode. It's starting to get a little blend here because now we are starting to just we really are kind of the ass of the joke. And what made it so terribly, honestly, was the fact that we really did have the best draft, I think, of any team. Best undrafted free agent signed with us. And like, we couldn't even fucking win the weekend because of this shit. Like, it's just crazy.
And we didn't just like take a strong stance and fire Brick. Because I think if we fire Brick,
it wasn't necessary. That wasn't it. I don't think him losing his yes. I see how
I wanted him fired for other reasons.
Because you didn't. Well, I didn't want him as our D coordinator either. But like, then you're left scrambling because now who's out there to get a DC? And it just, I don't know. It brings a little. And then let's say that those were the players that Brick wanted specifically. Now Rod's a defensive guy. I mean, I know Rod's been on the offense too, but like Rod's a defensive guy at heart. So he could coach up the defense still. But what if Brick specifically had some say-so in this? Like, oh, no. This is the guy. I mean, Brick's a former player. He played in the league for like 10 years.
Well, if Brick is getting say-so on who we're drafting, I think the team's being ran wrong.
Well.
Now, he should give his archetypes, his traits, and he should put names that he likes. And you just submit that to the decision makers.
He's the one that's tasked to turn around the defense because obviously coordinators' shelf life can be one season. I mean, coaches are too for certain organizations, not ours, but for certain organizations, you know, you can be a one and done at head coach, but coordinators are always off limits. They can get hired by somebody else. They can get fired by somebody. They can be banished from the league. So I think he's not the one making the pick, obviously, but he should definitely have say so. His vote in the room, if it's 100%, his vote's got to be 25%, in my opinion. And then the GM and the head coach
10%, maybe.
Well, you know what? You're right. I keep forgetting. Rich McKay's got say in this too, and we don't understand, or we overstand his importance in everything that deals with the Falcons.
I just know if I'm running a franchise, my coordinators aren't picking their players.
I'm with you in terms of making the pick. I'm just saying he should have some input and say so. Doesn't mean you have to listen.
Okay. Well, let's get back to Shedeur. What are your thoughts on why Shedeur failed? Do you think it's because the NFL was teaching him and Prime a lesson? Do you think there's a conspiracy? Do you think it's because he's black? You know, like
Like the guy that went first. It's not because he's black.
Well, I mean, he's more of a shut up and throw the ball type of guy. He wasn't, you know, he didn't have a rap song with Lil Wayne and a shoe deal. You know, he doesn't have the legendary catchphrase. You know,
Right. I think that it ultimately did come down to his attitude. And I'm not saying that he went into these meetings kicking his feet up on the table, but like I think that his swagger and personality at that position comes off and rubs people the wrong way. And unlike his dad, who can afford to do that because he's a cornerback, and that's the way cornerbacks and wide receivers get down. That is their MO. It is,
and he was elite.
He was elite, and that, you know. And at the time, Bobby Bowden probably had nothing but great things to say about Prime. I mean, it's I'm sure what he did at FSU speaks for itself. But like when you have somebody like that as being your spokesperson, that helps too. And I don't think that your dad, who's been your coach from high school and college all the way to now,
recreation.
When's the last time you got coached by somebody like that wasn't your dad?
He hasn't.
That's what I'm saying. So I think that that's a red flag in itself too, because your daddy's not coaching you anymore. You know, what did Herman Boone say in Remember the Titans? He's like, "Who's your daddy, Gary? Who's your daddy?" And a coach could come to him. Now Stefanski, I don't think would do that, but a coach could come to him and say, "Who's your daddy, Shedeur? Who's your daddy?" And he'd have to say, "You are," because that's the NFL at the end of the day, and you play the most important position for a team that's probably had the worst luck at quarterbacks ever.
And you know that's the biggest thing that I think gets lost in the black conspiracy talk is that it's not a conspiracy, but there are a lot of like-minded individuals who make this decision, and the quarterback is essentially an extension of the coach, the GM, and the owner. And you either need to represent me and my values and how you carry yourself, or be so damn good that it doesn't matter. Like, and even think about Cam Newton. When he got drafted by the Panthers, former owner Jerry Richardson said, "You don't have your earrings. You don't have earrings or tattoos, right?" He was like, "No, sir. Keep it that way." He didn't grow the locks until the team sold. You know what I'm saying?
That and then this is another thing.
Is Cam Newton being an elite prospect at all, like high school, college, going into the NFL.
And he had his fair share of problems coming into the draft, obviously. There was the money thing at Auburn, and then the shit that Florida State, him stealing a laptop or something. Not Florida State, but Florida.
The point being is he still had to color in the lines. Now, his line.
Yeah, because it's not your business. It's Mr. Richardson's business. At the end of the day, it's his fucking company. He does dictate what the Yankees before this year. No mustaches because
no facial hair. You have a mustache.
No facial hair. The Steinbrenners said that this is our culture. This is the way everybody that fucking works here is going to do it. And if you don't want to, then you don't have to be here. Like, nobody's bigger than the power T.
And that's what gets missed in all of this. And I'll be wanting to tell some of these niggas who trying to just talk about like merit. Bro, this is not a meritocracy. And if we're being honest, all of these stats you're telling me about Shedeur mean absolutely nothing to me because I don't trust your ability to analyze a quarterback. Yeah, the numbers are good, but so were Max Duggan's.
So were Dylan Gabriel's.
Yes, so was Dylan Gabriel's, you know.
Tyler Sharp's the only person that to me it just doesn't make sense.
Now, did I think he played better than the quarterbacks taken ahead of him besides Cam Ward? Yeah. Did I think there was an argument between him and Cam Ward based on how they played?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm also
Cam
not
could
a
do more.
quarterback evaluator. I'm not watching the all 22. I don't know where he's supposed to go in his progressions, what he missed, why he took this sack, why he took that sack. I don't evaluate talent. So I'm not somebody saying, you know what, he's one step away from his ceiling based on what we can see from him. You know what I mean? Like,
they said that there were other things too. Like he didn't go to the Senior Bowl apparently.
nope.
There was like just little shit, and I get it because if he don't get coached, he went to the combine, didn't do anything.
He went to
He only
East West
interviewed, and I know that other players do that too, but like he's a quarterback, so it's kind of just like
quarterbacks
probably
don't throw anymore. They don't
but
throw the
there's this inflated mentality too that I think I could see somebody thinking to themselves where they're like, man, this guy really thinks he's got this in the bag, and he's not that talented. He's not elite like that. Why does he think this? Where is this coming from? These are, and you don't need a shrink to fucking figure it out. Like, where's this coming from? And then they're like, his dad.
And his dad was representing him. They didn't have an agent. So the agent's not even getting the intel from the teams as they're working the phones and stuff.
I don't remember if it was Cowherd or Whitlock, but one of them said, the relationship with him and Prime is, the coach's son thing is like being a pageant mom.
That's Cowherd. He said quarterback dad is like pageant mom.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's a good thing, but it also is a bad thing because now you're forcing this thing, and it's like, no, mine is this. You know what I mean? And it's not a objective route like to do this stuff because you're gonna be subjective about certainly your own child because you're gonna support them no matter what. And to him, he's not necessarily lying to him either, right? He's not lying to him. Shedeur is probably a solid. I mean, he showed that he was a solid quarterback, so he ain't lying to him and telling him he's working him out with Tom Brady. Like,
right? And
these are things really happening.
And he was a 3-star prospect coming out of high school. It's not like he only played D1 because his dad. He's not Buddy Boeheim. You know what I'm saying? He's just not on the team because his dad is the coach. Like Shedeur wouldn't have went to Jackson State or Colorado. He would have been at better programs if his daddy wasn't the coach. You know what I mean? Like
he got an offer from Alabama, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, he had the Alabama offer. Shiloh was playing at South Carolina before he went and followed his dad. NCC guy, So, but Parlay P, here's the problem. And again, it's the black conspiracy argument, right?
Yeah.
We've gotten to a place to where we think that we can dictate terms when we don't sign paychecks. And everybody doesn't have leverage. Now, if you have leverage, you use your leverage. But everybody's not LeBron where he can actually hold a billionaire hostage because he affects the bottom line that much. Most of us are disposable. And guess what? Shedeur was viewed as disposable. So you know what? No, you don't dictate terms. We dictate the terms to you. And if you don't want us to dictate terms, well, you know what? We'll draft you in the 5th round. Cheap contract. We can cut you tomorrow. We won't be missing anything.
And then nobody else will want you either.
Nope. 5th round cut. 5th round pick cut. And then if we just put the stories out that you were bad on the whiteboard, you weren't focused, you weren't coachable, nobody's going to want you because the backup quarterback needs to be able to
his dad called me.
Yeah.
and look, and what it is just the NFL telling these niggas, hey, man, if you want to play ball and dictate shit, go out, try out for the fucking NBA because that's where they allow that shit. Them niggas dictate shit over there. I hate to use this term because then everybody will come at me. The prisoners run the asylum there. Okay. Not here.
No.
Not here. You might be good in Japan. You might be good in Japan. Over there with them. This is our home turf. This is America.
My name is Roger Goodell. And I make
$40 million a year.
And I got a stable of billionaires who I make very happy. In the words of one of my least favorite ones, don't fuck with me.
We sell out. Hey, we're a stadium tour.
I get Taylor Swift for
They're an
free.
arena. We sell out coliseums every week. Like
I can get your favorite stars for free. Taylor Swift comes to my event and makes me money.
I've made the Jacksonville Jaguars the official team of London, and then just looks at you like.
And apparently, their GM, who's our age, is properly equipped to understand fuck them picks as he works out of his basement in St. Louis and trades his entire future for Travis Hunter.
Did you think that was a bad move?
For a bad team, yeah. I mean, it's splashy. Maybe you find out what you need to know about who Trevor Lawrence is or isn't. I know the answer, and hopefully I'm wrong.
What's the answer, Lee?
Well, you know I'm rooting for him, so hopefully I'm wrong.
Yeah, but what's the answer? I didn't ask you what you were rooting for. I said, what was the answer?
Just like his predecessor, really stealing money from the franchise.
Who's his predecessor?
Deshaun Watson.
Oh, at Clemson. All right. I was thinking Jaguars. I'm thinking who
I'm
was
talking
the Jaguars
about
quarterback? I guess it was Gardner, I guess. But like,
yeah, I'm talking about the two worst contracts in pro football right now.
Yeah.
But like I'm rooting for Trevor and you know, would love for you to come on one of the shows, you know.
Cartersville's finest.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you know, like
he stole that mantle from you, and you stole it from Ronnie Brown.
I'd rather be overpaid than underrated.
I agree. As Hove so eloquently put it.
You know, the world was better when Hove and Ye were rapping together.
I agree.
But now apparently Ye is rapping his lips with dicks.
Yeah, we kind of talked about this last week. We don't have to get too much.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It was just right there on the rim.
He dropped Don to 2. But actually, this is a great springboard into culture where we can intertwine it with football because Bill Belichick is being ran by his escort, apparently. Thoughts?
Or his girlfriend, who has their mutual interest at heart, is running his company so he can be the best version of himself as a coach because he built this enterprise in retirement that still needs to function because he doesn't have many years left as the head coach.
Right. And as a publicist, because I'm sure that's what she went to school for, and she'd already interned and worked a job doing it. And I'm sure that's how she got her $8 million real estate portfolio too. Like, come on, man. She's hopping on dick. That's where she got it from. And if AC Lee doesn't want to sit here and tell the truth, then maybe I'm the misogynist pig. But again, that's cosplaying as truth teller today. She hopped on dick, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. That's how a lot of women, some at least, get where they are. Kim K is a billionaire because of it. She hopped on some dick.
So
now,
hold on.
Her hopping on the dick isn't why she's got the billions. She worked to get the billions, but the funding came from hopping on dick. That's all I'm saying.
So you're just making women. You're just bringing them down to just their success being.
No, not at all. I respect and love women. I mean, obviously, you know,
it's not obvious.
It is obvious. It is obvious. I have a daughter. I have a mother.
I have a black friend too.
I have a mother. I have aunts. I have girlfriends.
You know, I used to go to my black friend's house and spend the night.
Look, this is all I'm saying. With somebody like that, when there's a 50-year age gap, nobody is going to sit up and tell me that she gave an elevator pitch on a plane And that's how she got this $8 million portfolio, and why she gets to dictate whether a question is asked during a 60-minute interview about how they met. That's not how this works. Typically,
well,
answer questions like that.
Well, to her defense, that question was unrelated to his book, and he was being frustrated with the way that the media was trying to get spicy about his personal life.
And he couldn't speak for himself.
Well, she's the publicist.
All right, man. She also was the person in question in the question. So maybe it struck a nerve, but I don't know. Look, I'm just Big Baby Pete today. All right.
So
just saying.
How do you think they met?
I think that she was an escort of some sort. And I tell you what, let me give her a little bit more respect, considering that's just an assumption and a theory. It's a theory for me. But I believe that she was introduced to Bill via somebody or an app or something. And he found her attractive. She's an attractive woman, no doubt. I don't know how much they really talked about, but I think that he was looking at, man, if my old ass can get this thing up, I wonder what that's going to feel like. He found out, and he said, you know what? You're hired. And the rest is history. Bill gets to go into, I mean, think about this. Bill was caught leaving her apartment with his shirt off. An NFL, the greatest coach in NFL history, was caught on a ring. And how did the ring camera get out? Okay. I mean, let's think about this. And maybe it was a neighbor's ring. I don't know. Bill's caught leaving out of an apartment with his shirt off.
I mean, he used to be seen out on the Cape or the Vineyard with his ex-girlfriend.
Hey, man, the hoodie, that ain't hoodie behavior. This is the same guy that said we're on to Cincinnati after getting his doors fucking blown off. He doesn't talk. He doesn't do anything. Now he has opened up and started talking. And then the moment that he gets asked a question that everybody kind of was curious to ask him, that's why it got brought up. Now he can't talk again. Instead, somebody else talks for him. Robert Kraft never stepped up in the press conference and spoke for Bill. And he cut his checks. He's the one that ultimately funded this young broad's real estate shit. If we want to take it to the next level, he's the one that's funding this thing, right? I mean, I know that I am. There's no way I'm giving word salads out here, Lee. You know I'm telling the truth. This is what ultimately happened.
I'm letting you cook, man.
That's how it happened. That's what I believe happened. What do you think happened?
They have mutual interest. He wants a nice, young, hot piece of ass who will do his bullshit work and feel empowered and controlled. He can't really go anywhere because she can't get this lifestyle and its freedom anywhere else. I'm too busy for her once this football shit actually starts. So go have fun. And she's like, I get this old man, I gotta fuck him every now and then, but he's really busy and I get to live this great life. And then, all the other guys who mess with me, they know to keep it hush hush because we don't want to mess this good thing up.
Well, and we'll close out on this only because I know we're running against time just a little here, but
yeah.
How about this to add to the layer of this, and then we'll get to how the concert and stuff was. But Bill Belichick's daughter-in-law, wife of Steve, his defensive coordinator and son, came out and said the following. Where is it?
Unknown caller.
This is in regards to something that she wrote on Instagram. Publicists act in a professional manner and don't storm off sets delaying an interview. Now, she commented this under a post that was in regards to this on Instagram or Facebook, one or the other. Now, this is Steve Belichick, Bill's son's wife, his daughter-in-law, saying this.
So Bill's probably like, Steve, tame your woman. And Steve is like,
You
Dad,
tame yours.
name yours.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay, we'll just let them fight and we don't care.
I know that we better win these football games. That's what Bill's worried about, right? He's not worried about any of this other stuff because he gets to worry about it. He's worried about winning football games.
You know, in the grand scheme of things, though, like I think I think this is great for Bill. It's gonna help him relate to the young college kids in recruitment. It's gonna keep him hip, and then also all of his legacy stuff that's important, and the documenting of it and keeping it young, modern, and hip. He doesn't have to think about or hire anybody to do. He just has to pay his rent.
This is Jimmy Johnson on the Dolphins. This is Mike Ditka on the Saints. This is Michael Jordan with the Wizards. This is where we're at now. That's what it's turning into.
You know, Rich Rod said he could win a natty at West Virginia this time.
And if you kiss a pig's ass, you ate bacon. I mean, I don't know what that's supposed to mean. You know, I don't. But and West Virginia's in the Big 12, right?
Sure.
They're still in the Big 12, right? So
Sure.
Highly doubt it. Bill's gonna win 8 games this year. He'll go 8-4. He'll be frisky for an ACC title spot.
He'll beat Dabo.
And then somebody's gonna hire him, basically, in the NFL. He'll catch up and win the money.
And the girlfriend
have the most wins in NFL history.
And the girlfriend will disappear.
Yeah. But speaking of disappearing, season, SZA, tell us more. How you disappeared into the abyss that was Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Give us a full synopsis of this. I need to know, how's the crowd? Was it really sold out? Did he get a big pop? Obviously, I'm sure when he started doing Not Like Us, I'm sure that there was one. But was there any B-sides that he did that you didn't expect maybe that he performed?
Yeah, I just don't know the name of them because I'm not like that much of a Kendrick fan. But like he did some old stuff that I had never heard before that people were really vibing out to. But let's see. Let's start. Concert started at 7. They took the stage at 8:17.
Wait, you said the concert started at 8. They took the stage at 8:17?
No, it started at 7.
Okay. But that's common for concerts, typically wait an hour.
They took the stage at 8:17.
So there was a DJ obviously playing like Kanye's music and stuff, right?
Did
Drake's music get played?
I wasn't there yet. I got there. I got there at like 8:25. Like I'm outside hearing the concert start, but I was at the wrong.
Where'd you park?
Over there by JP's old apartment complex. You know, the one that they cleaned up and turned into a pig.
Yeah.
Lipstick on the pig.
Nice little walk.
Yeah, but it was $20 and the traffic wasn't moving, so I was gonna move faster parking and walking than I would.
And you can leave quicker too because you're further down.
Yep, and then I was able to like drive through the bluff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I took Griffin Street
to like Parsons.
all the way down to shit.
Like Parsons or something.
No, not that way. I went the other way. I went all the way down to damn near 10th.
Real quick, just because we were talking about Shedeur, this just came out according to exclusive report from Pro Football Talk.
Detroit just hit a buzzer beater 3 to go into the second half to take the lead by 2.
Score?
61-59. They were down by like 15 at the beginning of the second quarter.
Okay. Anonymous NFL GM says Shedeur Sanders seemed to approach the pre-draft process as if he was being recruited and not interviewed. There have been reports that Sanders simply didn't take the pre-draft process seriously, specifically in the context of whiteboard sessions where coaches expect players to demonstrate their knowledge regarding the this is just spelled wrong. Mechanisms of an NFL offense.
Yeah, I wouldn't draft him either.
Yeah, so just throwing that out there. But all in all, give us a rating on this concert. What would you?
I give it like an 8.5. Really good show. He and SZA were in and out, you know, and intertwining their joint songs. He took us on a journey. He's got the great visuals, you know, the car, like it looked like his car is moving and all of that good stuff. He and SZA are like doing like these weird interviews. They're asking different questions. They're explaining stuff. You know, he did one of his classic songs. He did the what's that song?
Backseat Freestyle?
Yeah, he did that, but it was different. Like it was like he acapella sang it or some weird shit, but it was dope. But the reception, so it appeared to be sold out. Call me old, but people were recording with their phones the entire concert, and I don't know how you enjoy it. Like I didn't have my phone, like I wasn't on my phone. I didn't record anything.
Because we don't care about putting stuff on Instagram anymore, Lee.
Well, no, I actually like to enjoy what I'm doing. So yeah, I don't care if other people know that I'm here having fun. Like, because I'm actually here to have fun. What else? When he did the diss songs and stuff, it was loud. It was loud. Yeah, nah, it was.
But everybody singing, "They not like us. They not like us."
Bro, if you would have heard like the A minor, or like when he did his "Like That" verse, but probably the hypest part is when he brought out Cardi.
Cash Cardi.
Yeah,
Atlanta
bro. Like Cardi got this crazy hive, bro, and like niggas was in there going nuts when that nigga came out.
It's weird, you know. It's weird because I mean, there are some Playboy Cardi songs I do like, but it's odd to me because I don't look at him in that stratosphere of, and I get it. Kendrick hasn't done songs with these guys, but he's not in that. Even his hotness now, to me, does not compare to prime Jeezy, prime Ludacris, prime T.I., prime Gucci. He doesn't fit that mold.
I just think we're so disconnected from his fans that we just don't even feel the impact, and so it don't feel the same to us, even though the people we were fans of had way more crossover appeal, but they drive enough that we just don't have to hear or feel it. Like Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is only a person we talk about regularly because of her relationship with football, not her, the pop star.
Right.
We know her, we acknowledge her, but we ain't checking for that shit.
Yeah, but God, I mean, are that many people? And I get it. I think Cardi sold 300K or something the first week. So I mean, he's big enough, but like, I don't know. I look at him because it seems like he's a disciple of almost Travis Scott and Kanye. And obviously Travis Scott himself kind of like this Kanye disciple. But I don't look at his music the same way I look at Kanye's. Not because Kanye's the OG of it, but it's because it's two different types of music. It's not even like the same type of music. His shit is more Travis Scottish, but like even Travis Scott instrumentally is Kanye-ish, like a little. And so it's like, it's weird because I'm not connected to it, even though there's like 2 degrees of separation from literally my favorite.
Nigga, you're old. Bro, you're old.
Yeah, but even
and you receive the young music differently. Like the young.
But when did Millie Rock come
fly.
out? When did that shit come out? In New York on Millie Rock. That came out like my senior year, I feel like, of college. So he's been around for like 10 years.
Yeah, but like even with that, like he was young, bro. Like you don't. Like when you're a kid,
like our age though. Cardi's like 30.
But you don't look up to the
like
niggas.
my age.
Like you don't look up to them. You don't necessarily think they cool. You just like rock with their music. So
Because
your
he's a nigga I would have
fandom
went to
is,
school with. Like,
but your fandom is different. Like you're not gonna embrace an NBA player like you embrace Kobe. You're not gonna embrace another Falcon quarterback the same way you embrace Matt Ryan.
ooh, I mean, if Penix can bring us that trophy,
Yes, you will love him, but you're still
but it
not
won't be
gonna
the same. You're
embrace
right.
him.
He'll never be Matt Ryan to me.
No, because of where you
My
were in
era.
life when you became a fan.
Yeah,
So
my era.
it's the same thing with this music. Like we ain't there. Like I was in the club Saturday, and all I was hearing was music from our era. And I start looking around. I'm like, oh well, everybody kind of here look to be my age-ish for the most part. It's a couple youngies in here. Hey, but old enough. But
A
but
minor.
but nah, it was I don't know.
Eight
We're
and
done
a
here.
half out of 10 though.
Yeah, that was a great show.
That's
Great
pretty
show.
high, honestly. That's
Yeah,
that's good praise, I think, especially for a tour where he's probably worked out a few kinks because he's done maybe 5 shows before he got here. So I mean, that's pretty cool though. I'm glad that he was able to sell out Mercedes-Benz because that in itself as a hip hop act is amazing. Unheard of in reality. A lot rappers don't do stadium tours. And granted, he has SZA, who also is huge pop wise. She's like, would you argue behind Beyonce the second biggest black R&B type artist today?
Probably,
She's
yeah.
second.
Bro, it was like straight dudes in there like fanning out to SZA and like just yelling at the top of their lungs her lyrics. And I'm just like, yo, I wish I could have that much fun here. I'm too cool, bro. Like I'm not doing all of that.
Her album Control had a lot of good stuff on there, though. She's got quite and here's what it is.
Bro, SOS was dope too.
My daughter's mother is a huge fan of SZA, and so of course, while I was dating her, I had to get used to hearing the songs, and some of them really weren't that bad. Like I gave SZA a chance. I knew who SZA was before that album because she was on Rihanna shit, on the intro track on Auntie, which is a great track. And her vocals are crisp on that shit. And she also did something with, who was it? She had did something else. I had heard of SZA, so I knew who she was. But I don't think that because I'm not into that kind of music, same thing with even Beyonce in reality. And we both had the same sentiments about Beyonce's concert. That concert wasn't for us. And so it's Beyonce, and it's like, wow, we're here to see a live show. She's singing, she's dancing. There's a bunch of queer mentality, energy around us. We get to embrace a moment, right? And it just wasn't for us. And that's okay. It doesn't mean the show was bad. Doesn't mean it was great. We weren't there to listen to that album. We wanted to hear Drunken Love fucking upgrade you. You know, we wanted to hear the shit with Jay. Like, that's what I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear Cater to You. I wanted to bring out some Destiny's Child. I didn't want to fucking hear what's the most popular?
You won't break my soul.
Yeah, that's one of the few songs on there, obviously, I knew and that I liked. But, you know, and I feel like maybe for Kendrick, I mean, you tell me, he probably did the whole entire GNX album.
I did a lot of GNX, but he did the hits.
Yeah, Good Kid, Damn. Couple of Pimp a Butterfly. Yeah. Yeah,
you know, little We Gonna Be All Right, a little, you know.
Oh, you mean the song, the number one song ever on Spotify in the streaming era that I think you agreed to, like when we talked about it. I was like, no, that shit is not the number one song in the streaming era.
Because it did what I told you it was gonna do, man. It had the crowd captivated.
Black Love, huh? And until somebody said, hey, nigga, watch where you stepping, and then you have a nigga moment like it's the Boondocks in the fucking concourse.
Well, you know, we didn't have that going on where I was at. We were a civilized bunch.
Okay. Look, there are Falcons fans that fight each other, Lee. But
I'll tell you, Kendrick and SZA brought them out. Now they was in there.
Oh, I'm sure.
They was like in there like with their homegirl too.
So it looked like a Drake concert.
Yeah. Well, you know.
You expect the bitches at a Drake concert.
Yes. But these were like the older women, you know. mature women.
Okay. Look at this. That sub you just threw at him. I'm not Drake, so I don't take offense to it. But
yeah, nah, bro. It was like you were seeing like the the mature old women who go out to get screwed.
Yeah.
Like, cause like young immature women ain't going somewhere with just a homegirl like that. It's like a group. They're either going out with a group or they're going out with a dude. Nah, they was in there just two of them. I was like, yeah, I see you.
And let me guess, they were hoping to run into a nigga with his homeboy. Because two niggas were going to be like, man, let's hit this fucking Kendrick concert. Which, there's nothing wrong with that. Doesn't mean you're gay or anything.
Or they just run into one and then they go somewhere after and then homegirl break off because she already know what time it is because we grown.
Right.
That's the real homegirl that you want around. The one who y'all go to the spot after the event, has one drink, and then act like her dude done hit her phone, so she about to go slide to let y'all cook.
Well, just so she can sit up and ask the next day, so how did it go?
Right. Or you text or she texting anytime somebody go to the bathroom or like there's a transition because you're obviously in separate cars. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she on the phone with her homegirl on the way to his crib.
Yeah.
Not the homegirl who just stay there and block and it's like, are you okay? Are you okay? Yes. And I know that sounds crazy because there are like real deal creeps and shit out here. But I ain't talking about like the creepy situation. I'm talking about
legitimate. Everybody that's in the same group. We're all professional, black, good people.
Yeah.
Good people. That's awesome though. Would you say, and I guess we can get ready to close out with this, but like, would you say that was, where do you rank it in your all-time concerts? And I'm not talking festivals, concerts.
It's hard, man, because
it's fresh.
It's fresh, but also like I've seen Chris Brown live.
That is the concert to go to, by the way. I would really like to get some tickets to.
Me too.
That at Truist Park. Because you know what time it's gonna be out there.
Bro, that's a day you might just go to the Battery and just kick it.
Yeah.
It's actually not a bad idea.
It's Labor Day weekend.
They are gonna be out there.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I think that's an investment. That's worth the investment.
That spillover is gonna be dumb. And like the hotel bar at the Omni right there.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh-wee.
Hey, and you know what's crazy too? Because you're gonna not only get the spillage of Atlanta, but everywhere from Tennessee. Because maybe he is doing one. They don't have a baseball field unless he's doing it at the football field. But Alabama, the baddies that do live in these places that don't live in Atlanta, they're legit 10s too. They just live somewhere fucked up. They're gonna be there.
And the ones who just wanted to have a reason to come to Atlanta, so they got Atlanta tickets because they city sold out or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, or they just didn't want to watch it there. Maybe there's a chick that lives in Chicago. It's like, I don't want to see him in Chicago. I want to go to Atlanta for the show because it's late. For one, it's Labor Day weekend, so now we got a great excuse. Nobody's working Monday. Two, you start talking about the guest appearances in a city like Atlanta are much higher. It's much more likely he brings out some really fire guests. Like,
yeah. I think I'm going to. If I don't get a ticket, I'm going to the Battery that weekend.
I'm down, and then maybe we can. I would rather go to the Saturday show.
Oh, absolutely.
We got to do our draft too. That Sunday, yeah. But then you can like stay here, and we do a live stream here, and we have like a war room.
Yeah. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Well, you've got to go.
I've got some dinner I need to attend to.
Yeah, I think I'm about to go get some chicken fries. I kept seeing the commercials and kind of want some.
Chicken fries?
Yeah.
From?
Burger King. I live right down the street from a Burger King.
The McDonald's chicken tenders.
I want chicken fries today. No McDonald's for me.
I'm just saying, the chicken tenders, they're good. I got them for lunch like 2 days ago.
Okay.
Just
I
throwing
remember.
just throwing it out there.
All right, man. Don't be late for dinner.
I will not. All right. Salutations, good people. Another great show, Lee. I will talk with you later.
All right, sounds good, Doc.
All right, brother.
Yep. Let's end this thing.